Hello everybody, welcome to a new episode of AC Security. My name is Dinan Paardenkoper, I'm a security cloud architect at IT Impressive, and today we're going to talk about the Power Platform, the new work OS in the age of AI. And today I have a special guest, and his name is Andreas. Andreas, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, hi Dinant. Thanks for the invitation. I'm really excited to be here. And yeah, as you said, my name is Andreas. I'm from Germany. I'm a Microsoft MVP in Microsoft 365. And I want to talk about the Power Platform itself because it has really evolved in the last years. And many developers and Azure guys just saying it's not that part of platform we are using because it's not for us. And I want to show you that this is not the right thing. So the Power Platform is for everybody, but there are a few things you have to talk about or think about, especially in kind of governance and security.
Well, it's amazing to have you here. We seen each other for the first time at the MVP Summit, and you touched upon this topic, and I thought like I have to have you on the show. So the stage is yours, I would say.
Thank you very much. Yeah, MVP Summit was a cool. I met so many new people, especially also from Microsoft, from the product group. That was great. So if you ever want to meet really cool people, become an MVP and come to the MVP Summit to Redmond. So you will always meet cool people there, like Dinant.
And Andreas.
Okay, so I will share my screen, I think. I have a little presentation. Like you told, Dinant, the Power Platform, the new work OS in the age of AI. This is really important because since AI, everything changed. Also the Power Platform. The world changed, the things how we make our work changed in every aspect of the job. So what is the Power Platform and why is it the new work OS in the era of AI? What kind of AI features do we have in the Power Platform? Copilot is everywhere, and why it's so important to have it in the Power Platform. Some kind of pro-code, low-code, what happens there and what happened in the past, especially for the developers. And then I want to show you a use case why it's now, especially for non-developers, really easy to get something really great stuff. But in the boundaries of the Power Platform, in the governed scenario, so you don't have to worry about security and all the stuff because it's already built in about the Power Platform. And this is what we want to do in the live demo. Then last but not least, we want to ramp up with the lessons learned and what we will see next in the Power Platform. Hopefully we got this all in the remaining time. So let's start. So I'm on the Power Platform every day. I use it every day. So the Power Platform as the new work OS. What does this mean? A traditional operating system is just an abstraction layer for the hardware and what you do in your computer. So if you think about this analogy, that's the same in the Power Platform. The Power Platform is now the level where you can just click it or make your things, and you don't have to think about the technical perspective or layer in the background. And we have had a shift in the Power Platform thanks to AI since 2023 and 24. So before that, it was really that the Power Platform was only for low code, for non-developers. So it's more than the modern Excel for business. That was a slang. But now with the power of AI, what's integrated in the Power Platform, it's no longer a developer platform. It is more the work OS for orchestrating your work. Because in the era of AI, if we talk about Copilot or agents or something like that, you just orchestrate and manage that in the Power Platform today. You do not longer talking about flows or Power Apps, you just describe what you want to do, and then you orchestrate it all in the Power Platform. So this is the main goal. And if we talk about the orchestration, you can just easily divide it into 3 layers. We have the surface layer where the user interact and where he clicks, where he uses his web portals, his Teams bots, his apps, and so on. And then we have the process layer where all the logic lives, like flows, AI agent, and that all works automatically. So if we have a rule-based thing, it's automation, and if we have a knowledge-based, it's more AI stuff. And then, last but not least, we have the data layer and the AI foundation. This is the most important layer in Microsoft 365 when you want to talk about integration of AI, because we have so many companies, they want to use AI and say we need AI, and then we don't know why, but they want to use AI, but they are not able to use it because they do not have the base layer ready. So if you have all your stuff in your SharePoint, it won't be, Copilot would not have other results than your own search in Microsoft, because shit in, shit out. So before you're talking about integrating AI, you have to talk about governance and labeling your data foundation. This is really important, especially also for the Power Platform. You have to clean up before you're taking the advantage of the AI. So the best part of the Power Platform is also we have more than 1,600 connectors to many third-party or Microsoft software. So it is totally easy to integrate all your systems you just need via day. If it's SAP or if it's whatever your favorite CRM or ERP, you can all connect it to the Power Platform and use it straight away in all your Microsoft application. If you want to use it in Teams or in Outlook, you just can connect it with the Power Platform, just make an automation, and then you can turn it on like if this, then that. If something happens in your CRM, just give me a notification in my Teams client and everything will work. That's really easy in the part. But the cool part is the AI integration. When we talk about Power Apps as a tool in between the Power Platform, we now can use vibe coding, something like we never had before. So in the past, you have to create an app, create a screen, grab all your controls like a button and a drop down, and then you have to maintain the functionality, what should happen if you click on the button, and so on. And now with vibe coding, you just describe what your goal is and what your context is. And in the background, the AI is able to create all these things for you without interaction. That's really cool. And we will see this later in the live demo.
Cool.
Also, the part for Power Automate. This is my favorite tool in the Power Platform. So with Power Automate, you can connect everything and automate everything you want. So in the past, it also was that you have to just do it step by step. What do you want to do? So you have to take a trigger, then you have to add some actions, then you have to, maybe you have a branch that you have to decide if this happens, then do that. If another thing happened, then do this way. And all this stuff, you had to do it manually with logic and something like that. And now you also just describe in natural language what you want to do. If I got a new email in my inbox, put the attachment in my OneDrive and ping me in Teams that I have a new attachment or something like that. That doesn't make sense maybe, but that just should show you just describe what you want to do or what you want to automate, and Power Automate will give you a full Power Automate flow, and then it will work. So you can just define it, refine it, and add some details or something like that. But you don't have to know what steps do I have to need to do to get this thing ready.
Cool.
And last but not least, it was in the Fortune. They said if the generative AI is the new work OS or or the operation system, then agents will be the new apps.
Yep.
So, and this is true. We all working with generative AI, with ChatGPT, Claude, Copilot, or whatever favorite LLM you're using. But the future is an agent. And some people also predict that we will have in 2028 more than 2 billion agents in the world working together and hopefully do our stuff. So we have many time to sit on the beach and drink some cold cocktails or something like that.
Let's hope so.
So so the amount of agents will increase rapidly. That's the fact. Because with Copilot Studio, we can build so many agents for every single thing we have to want to automate in our daily business. So you can create an agent that also starts another agent. So multi-agent layers, autonomous agents, they only work when, or they do not need a button or a trigger or something like that. They will work autonomously. That also happens today already. And one part that's not part of the Copilot Studio, this is the IDE, the IDE for the agents you create. The AI builder will be the stuff where you can do it in between in the Power Platform, in Power Automate. So Copilot Studio is a little bit out of scope from the Power Platform, but technically it depends to the Power Platform. This is maybe for the developer audience, it's a little bit GitHub Copilot in Visual Studio Code, something like that. It's mostly the same concept, but for the entire app lifecycle. We're talking about data model, UI, logic, and all the stuff that happens in the Power Platform. I think we want to talk more or see in the live demo, the vibe coding thing, prototyping, rapid prototyping with only describing what you want to do. So you just say, what is your problem? What do you want for a solution? And the AI will create a solution for you. And we will check this out in a couple of minutes in the live demo. But there are, in the past, in the Power Platform, this was more no-code, low-code variants. So it was hard for real developers to get into this place because the pro code was not that good to integrate. But now in the Power Platform, you are able to create pro code apps like a web app and integrate it in the Power Platform. So you have best of both worlds. You just can stay in your pro code and you integrate it in the governed platform of the Power Platform with all the security, with all the data loss prevention, with all the governance. So it's really easy to integrate it in your environment and your company is safe using this ProCode app. So you don't have to maintain your own app as a web app and think about identity and access management or something like that. You don't have to think about it because it's already there in the Power Platform about Entra ID, and you can integrate other things from Azure like functions, runbooks, storage, everything from Azure you can integrate into your ProCode app. So it's not either or. You can start or solve 80% like in Power Apps, start over with white coding. And for the rest of the 20%, you just need, you can choose your pro code and just attach it. And you can switch between these solutions. You can start with a no code and then you switch to a pro code one. And then you switch back just to refine it with no code, with vibe coding. So, and there are some things you need to know even without you are using or you want to use the Power Platform, but there are some things you have to think about. Maybe you don't think it, but in mostly every organization, there are one or two users who are using the Power Platform and you don't know it because it's not governed. So somebody has to talk about or has to own the governance and make a concept for the Power Platform. Everybody who has an M365 license and working with something like approvals is using the Power Platform. So we have to govern it. If you are consuming APIs with automations. And every AI copilot agent, whatever, is using the Power Platform. So these are the same concepts. If you want to make an agent that connects to a third-party software, you are using a connector from the Power Platform. So you have to make a governance, because right out of the box, like we know from Microsoft in the M365, everything is always on and always open. So the first thing you have to do is to maintain a standard governance that must not be full-blown 20,000 toggle switches, but just a little bit to say, in our default environment, we want to make it secure for every user who has an M365 license. But the cool thing is, in the Power Platform, out of the box, security is built in. So every M365 user or every tenant has a default environment. So every user who has an M365 license is member of this default environment. That's fine, but as I said, you have to govern it. But if you want to create something new, you just create a new environment, and then you have an own container for this environment and just can govern it like you want, who should be able to use it. Maybe you want to create an application for your HR. Then you create a new environment, and just like every security group in your tenant, this is 3 clicks and then security built in. That's really easy.
I was just wondering, is it hard to explain with customers the security settings of the Power Platform?
No. In my opinion, it's really easy, because what I said, if you do nothing, everything is on and everything is open. So you have to maintain a minimal governance and security in your Power Platform. This is crucial, and you don't make any fights about it, because this is your security layer. So you have this one environment, the default environment, and you have to secure it. And this is one, maybe maximum 1 day to make this happen. And then everybody is safe, if you want to use the Power Platform or not. And in my case, every customer has understood this. The easiest way to secure the default environment is to set up a data loss prevention policy. And in this policy, you just say, mostly, it's only allowed to use the Microsoft 365 connectors itself. So you can just limit the usage internally of the services from Microsoft 365. The first thing you could do to govern your Power Platform without any great knowledge of the Power Platform. But after that, if you have done that, just go to anybody who is experienced with the Power Platform and just talk about governance to make a concept of it. Here we see some use cases from my clients. I'm sorry, but most are in production, so I'm not able to show this in real production. But this is what we already done, and what you can also do really, really easy. The second one, the invoice processing. There are also in the AI builder, there are models. You just choose it, give it 5 of your invoices, and you are ready to go. Nevertheless, 5 minutes, and you're ready to have set up a whole process for your invoice processing. This is already out of the box. This is no science, no knowledge, no coding, just 5 minutes, and you're ready to go. Or great way to modernize legacy software is to integrate it with a wrapper and just refine it with a new UI, so it's a little bit modern. It's mostly much more easier and cheaper to do this way than creating a completely new application on a new stack. Onboarding automation, also a cool thing. We all know when a new person starts in your company, how many steps you have to do to get these people ready to work and in production level. So if you have an onboarding automation, you can automate all the steps, and maybe you have a chatbot for this new people, just a welcome bot or something like that, where they can ask the questions what to do next on the onboarding journey. So this is really, really easy. Also set up maybe 2 hours if you have all your onboarding documents ready, especially in a SharePoint library. So there are so many quick wins you can use with the Power Platform. Okay, but now we want to go in the live demo. And like the first example you saw, we will create an IT incident management app where we will code that live, where we will show how easy it is to prototype really, really easy this one. And for that, I will just switch to another screen. This is the home of the Power Apps, one tool of the Power Platform. So if you are on make.powerapps.com, this is your start page. I also got it in English. When you go on the home screen, you also already see Let's Make a Plan. This is what you can use to describe what you want to do. So you just can switch in your prompt, like in this case, create an app for IT incident reporting and call it AZ Security Incident Management. Employees should be able to report and so on and so on. You can start it this way, or like you can see already here, explore vibe coding and Power Apps preview. And then you will switch to vibe.powerapps.com or vibe.preview.powerapps.com. This is the modern UI for the vibe coding. And you see, I have the same prompt, and I will start now. And like you know from other LLMs, it will start with a chat. And then you see like other things in Copilot, what happens in the background. And it will take maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and then we are ready to go. You see one point after another, it's already done. So adding data sources, designing. Remember, how long does this take if you have to do it manually or in your developer experience? You have to think about the data model, and then you have to make requirement engineering. Then you have to think about UI, UX. Then you have to think about the app structure and so on, and all these stuff. Then you have to combine it all together. And you see here, it will be done in less a couple of minutes. Here we go. And we are done. So what you now see is the first fully functionable app. So you just can, I don't know why it's in German. I'm sorry for that. But what you see, security incident app, we have a home screen, we have a report incident, we have an incident list screen. So you can see, you can have the possibility to take an employee, you have an IT admin view, you see all the open tickets. Just we will talk about the incidents, refresh. So let's talk about the details. This is from Anna. The printer in Office 3 does not work. Screenshot, you can add a screenshot, something like that, and then you are able to to get this thing ready. And you see how easy that was with one prompt to get this first approach. But the cool thing about this is you now just can iteratively refine it. So if you want to change something, you just type it. Maybe what can we do? Okay, maybe we can add. We do not have a filter for this status of incident. So maybe we can just add a status column. In the IT admin view, add a filter column for the status of an incident. So about just refining or adding some kind of functionality or designing something like that, you will just iteratively make it better and better and better until you have valid, good point to start to test it out. So you see also it already do it in the background.
And can I save the result?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, from the app perspective.
Yes. You see it's already working, but I can switch to another one. I already created one before as a fallback. Maybe we have connection issues or something like that. See here, it's not exactly the same app in the same design, but it was the same prompt sent to the system. So this is what the system already done. And then you see it's live. You can maybe it's already, no, it's not ready. You can just save it and then you can publish it. And if you have published it, you can just use it. And this is the other one that is created based on the same prompt. But you see, since this is, if you go to 3 doctors or 10 doctors asking the same questions, you will get 10 different answers. That's the same with AI. So, but what you can see here, it works. So you can just create a new issue. You can just say from which part it was, maybe 22. What happened? Which employee? You can also say, oh, don't make it a drop down. Take our phone book or something like that. So it's integrated in your Entra ID. Which level of priority? It's urgent. You can add a screenshot. And then you just publish it, and then it's there. It works. It works. You see all your incidents. So you have an IT admin view. Everything. This is 10 minutes. This was 10-minute works. Okay, it's just the first approach, and you have to refine it. But the cool thing is, this app, you can just also, if you say, I'm a developer, just show me the code, and then you go in the code and can edit the code in this way, or you can do it in Visual Studio Code or whatever. So you don't have to maintain one part. You don't have to stay in vibe coding. You just take this one, edit with your behavior, and if you're done, you can switch back. It will show your app with your with your changes from your Pro code one, and then you still can go here and say edit this feature or something like that. And
Nice.
this is, in my eyes, really, really cool. So you have, on the one side, maybe the business perspective to say, this is what I want, but I don't know how exactly we can get this technically done. Then you can do it with vibe coding, and then you go to your IT or to developer and say, this is our first approach. This is already good, but we want this and that and this. And the developer just make the changes from the code side, coming back, and you just from the business perspective. So it's really, really fast to get this thing ready for production.
Nice. Yeah, that looks very promising and very easy to use. As you mentioned, it's not only from an engineering perspective, but you also can help design together with the right prompts,
Yeah.
of course, and see the
And
result
also,
very quickly.
let's take a look on the plan itself, on the app itself. So this is the ordinary prompt. Then you see what roles do I have, employee, IT admin. So it also makes the requirements straight out of your prompt, the data model. So we have the list employees, what we can change to Entra ID or something like that, that has not to be in Dataverse table. We have a table for the incidents. Which technology do we have? We have the app itself. Then we have in the background workflows for a new incident or for a status update. You could also, if you want, you can now add an agent to say, add an agent or a chatbot who I can ask how many tickets are open, which are mine tickets, or whatever. So there are no boundaries. And then you also have the data model itself. You just see everything. Well, that's really easy because only 2 tables, but this is automatically done. You don't have to think about the data model. That does not say that the data model is perfect, what the AI does, but it's definitely more easier to start
Exactly.
than with a white blank page.
Indeed. I think it's giving you a quick way to showcase the application in a design phase, but also for others to share and understand and get the picture very fast.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's switch back to the presentation. This was the prompt and the output if it would not work. So we started with the first on the left with the prompt, then in the middle color code the priority field, and then add a filter to the gallery. So you see this is refining every step. It will make it, and if it doesn't work, you say, oh no, that was not good, undo this one, and then it will also do it. So it's really, really easy. Just try it out. But where light is also shadow. So there are some known pitfalls you have to know so you don't make the same failures like many other people before. So first of all, the Power Platform is cool, but it could be really, really expensive for your company, especially if we talk about licensing or if we talk about Dataverse storage. So, well, Microsoft has to earn money, and the really, really cool stuff is not in the standard, it's always in the premium feature. So you have to get another license. This is one topic you have to think about, and but the more apps you create, the more things you get in the Power Platform, the better is your return on investment, for sure. So it doesn't make sense to have just one app and paying so much money for some licensing. Then you have to think about to modernize your own legacy application or something like that and bring it all to the Power Platform. Then it makes sense to get the license. Application lifecycle management is really tough. You have to think about it if you want to use the Power Platform. You have to think about environment strategies, like do we need dev, test, and production environments, or how do we maintain CI/CD pipelines, something like that. This is also possible in the Power Platform, also with a GitHub or Git or something like that, but it's also premium. So if you want to use it in this way, you can, but you have to throw some coins into the machine. The really, really hard thing is or the first thing you have to think about if you want to use the Power Platform is to think about the governance, and security is really, 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 really mandatory. You can't you can't do nothing in the Power Platform. That's weird. Even if you don't really want to use the Power Platform in your tenant or in your company, but you have to maintain governance, especially if you want to use Copilot. It's always Power Platform. Dataverse itself is a really, really cool data platform. You can do really, really cool stuff with data in the Dataverse. It's really flexible. It's like item level security if you want it, but it's not a data warehouse. So if you want to make large analytical workloads, you just have to put it out to something like Fabric or whatever other vendors. It's just a storage. It's not a data warehouse. And of course, if you choose to use the Power Platform, it is a kind of vendor lock-in, because if you go in the Power Platform, you invest and you want to stay in it. So you have to keep that in mind. And of course, what I said in the live demo, if you use AI tools with every other AI tool itself or LLM, you have to review the output of the AI. If it fits your needs, if it's real, if it's any brainwashed outcome from the AI. So you have to maintain that. So what's on the roadmap? I talked about that we are already able to use in the near future autonomous agent. So they are starting independently with no user interaction. You will have the ability to orchestrate multi-agents. So you have an agent that starts another agent for a specific thing, or agents that start more than one agent and coming back and giving information back. So multi-agent orchestration. This is really, really cool. For agentic process automation, maybe you know it from robotics process automation, where you can just maybe like recording your screen, and then the automated flow knows what to do if you just start the thing over. This will go more and more with AI, like agentic process automation. It's boundaries. You now have to say, like, click this, then click that. There's intelligence in it. So the system will know what to do, especially if you don't talk, or you do not have to say, it's this click and then this and this information. The process automation flows will get more intelligent. Well, Power Apps and Figma, this is not a really new one. It's not only Figma, there are some other UI tools you can use. You can integrate it into the Power Apps, even if you want to wipe code and say, this is my design, just grab it in and it will take it over. Well, yeah, and the integration of Fabric in the Power Platform is really, really cool. So you can export your data and make large analytical workloads in the Power Platform without getting all the resources down. So whenever you want to start with the Power Platform, there's really, really many stuff in the World Wide Web, or also ask your favorite chatbot. But if you are classical, just go on the Microsoft Learn page. There's so many stuff to start over. You can get a free developer plan for if you do not have Power Apps in your company, in your license. There's a really great community for the Power Platform, or some cool people like here in this case, Shane Young and April Dunham, but there are so many people on the YouTube world giving so much cool stuff for Power Apps, Power Automate, Power Platform. If you want to get some stuff in German, you can just go on my YouTube channel. There are so many, I think about 40 different use cases for using Power Automate and solving problems in your business. So this is also possible, but this is international, this is English, so this is for everybody. Just one sentence to remember for the Power Platform. The Power Platform is not low code for people who cannot code. It's the orchestration platform where AI processes data and interfaces converge. Keep that in mind.
We will do.
And if you want to connect with me, you see my QR code. Just connect with me on LinkedIn.
Awesome. Andreas, I want to thank you for your time, for the great explanation, also for your demo, which gives the ease and the power of Power Automate. So thank you for that. Also for being part of AZ Security. I think you have set down a beautiful story for everybody, and also stuff to have us think about, like the governance and security. So thank you for that.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. For everybody at home, I want to thank you very much for your time, for listening. If you have any comments or things that you want to share, please leave them in the comments below. And otherwise, I would say thank you very much and take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.